A Saturday afternoon in 1911. A scrap bin ignites. Flames roar up through a 10-story building. Locked exit doors trap hundreds. Young immigrant women leap from windows. In less than 20 minutes, 146 lives extinguished. This is the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory Fire. On March 25th, 1911, the Triangle Shirtwaist Company occupied the 8th, 9th, and 10th floors of the Ash Building, later the Brown Building in Manhattan. 500 workers, mostly immigrant women, Italian, Jewish, worked hours of garment production on the assassination of the world. The sons sold were far, far from the racing side of the Ash Building. Piles of fabric scraps and gas lighting. Break rooms were scarce, exits were few. Many doors were locked from the outside to deter theft, and the factory had experienced smaller fires before. Management insisted on high output, minimal safety, and tight control over movement. The stage was set for disaster. At about 4:40 p.m., near quitting time, a fire broke out in a rag bin under a cutter's table on the 8th floor. The fire fed instantly on cotton, paper scraps, and fabric. The hoses in the factory were poorly maintained. One valve was rusted shut. Fire alarm came at around 4:45 p.m., but the blaze had already gained momentum. Flames climbed upward through shafts, open stairwells, and floored walls. Because the doors to stairwells and fire escapes were locked or inward opening, many escape routes were blocked. Panic set in as workers tried to flee upward or the rooftop, but smoke-filled corridors and firefighters' ladders could not reach the upper floors. As fire and smoke surged, many workers jumped from windows to escape, falling to their deaths. Others were trapped inside, succumbing to smoke or burning. Elevators failed after 4 trips. Many were stuck. Some tried to descend stairs, only to encounter locked or blocked doors. The fire lasted approximately 18 minutes. By the time fire was under control, 146 workers had died, 123 women, 23 men. Some burned, some jumped, some died from smoke or entrapment. Many bodies were unidentifiable. Families waited for days. 6 victims remained unidentified until 2011. Firefighters were limited in reach. Their ladders could not reach above the 7th floor. Nets held people leaping from windows, but many jumped simultaneously, ripping nets. The public was horrified. Newspapers condemned the owners, city officials, and lax enforcement. Mass funerals, rallies, and protests flooded the city. An investigation began into locked doors, lack of sprinklers, unsafe fire escapes, and lack of safety enforcement. The factory owners, Max Planck and Isaac Harris, were tried for manslaughter but acquitted. Many felt justice was denied, and labor movements gained momentum. This tragedy transformed safety rules and labor law in the U.S. The fire triggered a wave of reforms. New York passed stringent fire safety laws, required outward opening doors, fire drills, sprinkler systems, and better inspection regimes. Labor unions grew stronger. The International Ladies Garment Workers Union used this tragedy as a rallying cause. The Ash Brown Building still stands at NYU, a memorial to the victims. Each year, names are inscribed, plaques read out, and labor rights highlighted. Today, building codes, fire safety standards, and workers' protections trace their roots to that day in 1911. Cause: in less than 20 minutes, 146 dreams ended. Locked doors, unchecked authority, and greed triumphed over human lives. But what if those systems hadn't failed? Even small reforms matter. Most workers were immigrant girls aged 14, 23, working long hours, low wages, far from home. They wore little chance for protection or voice. Survivors recall seeing co-workers trapped, begging for doors to open, and the horror of often jumping or burning. Some leapt to safety nets below, many never returned. One survivor, Rose Friedman, lived to 107. She recalled the horror, the locked doors, the scramble, the jumpers. This fire didn't happen because of a single spark, it was baked into the system. Industrial exploitation, weak regulation, pressure on immigrants, and owners' disregard for safety all combined. The doors were locked to prevent theft, inspection was lax, sprinklers were optional, escape routes were insufficient. From 1902 to 1910, the factory had experienced minor fires, but each time, owners did not upgrade safety. Their pattern was denial. Locked exits and blocked fire escapes remain among top safety violations. Today's buildings are safer, but failures still occur. Code violations, ignored alarms, emergency route errors. What if a modern factory ignored them? Could history repeat? The lesson: safety is non-negotiable, and human life can't be locked behind doors for profit. 146 voices silenced in 18 minutes, but their echoes reshaped a nation. Next, we return to the rails, an American bridge that failed catastrophically under strain. Don't miss Episode 6.